Hello everyone. After owning Flydigi APEX 4 for about a month or so, I wanted to share my experience. Not as a pro gamer or gaming accessories snob, just a regular guy sharing his opinion about controller. I used to have GameSir G4 Pro, and it kinda liked it, but after buying G8 for my phone for emulation, I realized that that old piece of junk had to go. So yeah, I treated myself with a Flydigi APEX 4. Got a whole package actually, all inclusive and shit. Controller, docking station, full mount, carrying case. I don't really need these accessories. All I care about was getting new controller and charging dock. But the price difference was so little that I had to take the whole package. So I paid 115 euros on AliExpress and got the controller delivered to Eastern Europe in 16 days. And many people are afraid of buying on AliExpress because they think they can get scammed or warranty issues and stuff, but there are bias protection, all sorts of warranties, so don't be a puss and save your money. Because on Amazon, this one costs like what, 150 bucks just for controller? Nah, that's not a good deal. The controller has X and switch button layouts and multiple connections, wired, 2.4 GHz wireless, Bluetooth 5 point something, I don't really know which one, couldn't find that information anywhere. And even though controller has a phone mount, I wouldn't go that route, there are way better options than this. Now the controller itself is amazing, it feels like it was made for my hands. It has really nice rubbery and grippy texture, also has that nice weight to it, You get that feeling that you're holding something sturdy and expensive and not some cheap piece of junk. To my knowledge, all buttons are mechanical, but all these X, Y, B buttons are really weird for the first time I use controller. After a few minutes, actually grew on me, but still, it sounds like a mouse switches. I actually think that is mouse switches. The analogs are awesome. It has those Hall effect sticks, so basically that means you can forget about stick drift. Also, you can remove the faceplate and there's a little magnetic screwdriver, so you can adjust how loose or tight the analogs feel, so that's awesome. But I was concerned about the back buttons before buying. They seem too small and inconveniently placed. I tried my buddy's Gully Kit KK3 Max controller and it has almost like a back lap pedals. They weren't that comfortable. Actually, the whole controller was not comfortable. So yeah, I was really skeptical about the APEX 4 because I thought, shit, if KK3 back buttons didn't really feel that comfortable, these probably would be even fucking worse. But man, as soon as I laid my hands on this controller, these back buttons were just in the perfect spot. Can't imagine better place for them, and probably these are the best shaped buttons. You can easily spam every button with no problem, so yeah, 10 out of 10 for back buttons. And funny thing is, I don't really use them that much. The triggers are also great. You can customize them completely. Want to have a head trigger? Well, you can. Want to feel some sort of recoil? Well, you also can do it. There's also an adaptive trigger option that is made for few games, something like a PS5 head controller, but I actually never touched that thing, so I don't really know. And the thing is, adaptive triggers aren't really my thing. It's just a preset for a game. No matter what is happening in the game, for example, while playing Cyberpunk and driving a car or bike, yeah, it feels like the controller is doing its job, imitating gas or brake pedals. But when you're on foot, shooting stuff, the controller is still doing the exact same thing, imitating pedals. So it doesn't really make sense, so it's not really adaptive. So I made my own presets. Like for racing, the right trigger is a little harder to push, to act like a gas pedal, and the left one gets knockbacks, like recoil or something, so it kinda feels like ABS kicking in. So my suggestion would be, make your own presets and use them. Also never had a problem with the battery. The APEX 4 has a 1500 mAh lithium battery. I played 4 hours with the RGB on, vibration, all that shit, and the battery bar on the controller stayed full. I mean, if you have a charging dock, battery life doesn't really matter, unless it's incredibly shitty and holds like 3 hours or something. Now the software. It is filled with features, different profiles, modes, button customization, trigger customization, RGB control, etc. Fully packed with things you're probably going to touch way less than yourself. The controller also has a screen. Unfortunately, you can't turn it off, and originally there's a GIF playing, which just pisses me off, so I put my own logo on it. But you can always put a black wallpaper or whatever you like. Oh, and you can also put a little battery bar, so that is very convenient. It also has a turbo mode and macros, but they're only available for the back buttons. Now RGBs. I'm not a big fan of RGB on everything, but Flydigi did this one solid. Really nice looking, especially at night. Wasn't overdone at all. So specs say that the polling rate is 1000 Hz. Game Pavla? Every time I say it, just makes me giggle a little bit. People from the distant parts of Europe or Russia would understand. So, Game Pavla also shows a maximum polling rate of 1000 Hz. So, all checks out. Here are some average circularity error results. That doesn't mean shit because it has square analogs and it's impossible to have no errors on this config, and also circular input is bullshit anyways. So yeah, it is a pro controller and it's complete overkill for me. For fuck's sake, I don't really play competitive games. The only competitive game I play is Counter-Strike, and still, very rarely, and with a mouse and a keyboard. I just wanted to treat myself with a nice controller. So in conclusion, this is exceptional controller, with only one drawback. White color scheme. There is no black option, unfortunately, so it kinda looks weird in my black setup, but besides that is amazing. So yeah, that's it. Regular guy's opinion about the controller. Hope you found this review helpful, and I hope you have an excellent day. Goodbye.